Hey guys, Stavros here, RPM Auto Reviews. As I had mentioned, coming up was the 2019 Buick Envision, the 2-liter turbo, the all-wheel drive. Okay, I got the Premium 1 model here. There's only one level higher than this. Okay, I got the Premium 1 model here. There's only one level higher than this. I think it's a beautiful car. It's it's got a bit of the classier look to it and everything. So I think it's a nice looking car. Now this does have the swoopy thing. There we go. Goes to a really good height. I would say somebody 6 feet can stand underneath it, but if you're more than 6 feet tall, maybe not. And 32 inches, so that's actually less than the CX-5. So this is definitely a compact SUV. 40 in this range, which is on the average size. It can be 41. And this is 29 3/4, so it is a nice straight in load floor. We have 2 level hooks here, so that's nice, tied down hooks or something. We do have the folding thingamajiggy here, which didn't put them all the way down for some reason. Let me see if this one would. That one did, pretty much. No, they're not flat folding, but now, as you guys always know, I love to see this. I love to see hidden space. You need safety blanket, spare oil, spare antifreeze, windshield wiper fluids, a little tool kit, maybe booster cables, and this got it. And it still has a temporary type spare tire and your tools for changing the tires. This opens up to a fuse box in here. It's got another tie down hooks on the inside. I believe this is a speaker. It does have a spot for a cargo cover to go in here. As you can see, this one doesn't have one. And we do have a 12 volt here as well. And there's a button here for closing the hatch. Okay, now this also has a little proximity thing here that will open the door. The door opens a little less wide than some of its competitors can. It still looks wide enough to definitely get in your car seats here for the children, so I guess that won't be an issue the way the design is, but just an FYI. All right. So now the front seat is where I sit for myself, and again, you see that they've spared no expense or design, I should say, for the front seat. I've got plenty of, somebody 6'6" could probably sit here and their knees will not touch if I'm sitting in the front. Now this one has a panoramic roof, usually makes the roof line lower in the higher trim. So if I do my hand test, my famous hand test, 5 fingers cannot go through, and 4 fingers I gotta force through. Now this does have reclining seats, but the lowest position to me is slightly a reclined position, a little bit more than a CX-5 that I mentioned. You should watch that review. If you put it to the rearest reclined position, then to me that becomes more of it's actually more of a more comfortable spot. It's not recline like you're resting, but it is a more comfortable sitting position. And if you do that, definitely my 4 fingers pass in front, but my 5 fingers still cannot pass in front. The floor is flat for passengers to come down. It's comfortable seating. The middle person has room to put their feet here if they're sitting down. That's pretty good. It's not a bad height there for someone taller. Do have to put the feet underneath there a little bit. And it's easier for people to slide across. Again, this seat is a bit further back than this one. Again, lots of room. You got soft touch here with some stitching. I'm pretty sure this is fake, the fake wood trim. Now this one here is oddly enough hard. Then again, so I'm not sure. This is hard down here. We do have the leather soft here, which is kind of nice. But why they're adding something hard here and what's supposed to be a luxury vehicle, the Buick, I don't think was a good idea, but it's not the end of the world. We do have the climate controls here, so you have your own climate controls back here. That's a luxury feature. You have two USBs, you got the 12 volt, you have the heated seats, which is very common now in higher trim models of even regular vehicles. But having the fan speed and your temperature back here is more of a luxury touch, so that's nice. We do have the cup holders back here as usual, and the padding here is very good actually. Lots of padding, nice and wide, very comfortable. The seats are perforated as well. You know what? These are really comfortable seats. Thumbs up for the front and the rear seats being very comfortable. All right, and then it does have that. Yay. Okay, so the seatbelt adjustment, gadgety thing, does go to a lower position, so shorter people like myself can have it set where it misses rubbing against your neck, and it misses my neck, so it passes that test. On the Equinox and even my wife's Subaru, it just kind of gets really close there. Depending if you're wearing a collar shirt, it's okay. If you're wearing a t-shirt, it bothers you, but this one looks like it's in a good spot for shorter people. The window does go all the way down. So I think it's a beautiful looking interior. The colors kind of blend in nice. I'm okay with all that. Again, a little bit height. Headroom is on the low side for its class and its competition. The mirrors, we have the turn signal there. Okay, so similar design here, but we have soft. Now this one, unlike the rear seat, this is all soft. From here and up, everything is soft or touch, except for of course the fake wood thing. Leather, we have a little cubby thing hiding here. That's all right. You want to put in a pan or something in there, a knife maybe. You know, whatever, right? You got to cut those apples on a snack break. You could put a bottle of water here. There was a little bit awkward design for it, but you definitely can get a normal bottle of water there. You have an adjustment here for the hatch height, the rear hatch height. Typical windows or typical power windows. We have memory seats here. This does have the lumbar support up and down as well, so that's a luxury feature, right? Up and down, and the tilt angle, and of course the regular settings. So this is a 10-way at least. And the seat, like I was mentioning in the driving, is on the long side, so that's kind of good. My being 5'6", my knee just comes right around here. Good height. If you're like 5'4", 5'2", you may want to put something, a pillow here, because your knee's gonna wanna, your back of your knee is gonna want to kind of like be extended out here. It's not going to want to curve around it as easy. If you're taller, it's perfect. Now it does not have the thigh extension little piece here like some luxury cars do, so power down and up, and the tilt, and it's got the lumbar support for the passenger. It does have memory 1, 2, and it does have the button here where you can ask it to save a third setting for when you open the door. The seat will go back a little bit so you can get in and out easy. Then when you get in, it'll go back up to the position you have it, right? Okay, all the windows are expressed down. The back are not expressed up. Oh well, the front is not expressed front either. For luxury vehicle, express down for everything, thumbs up. Express up, thumbs down. Only the driver's side has it. Let's get into some of the interiors. As you've seen, I really like the two-tone thing. I love tan color interiors instead of black seats. I think it's got a beautiful design in here. I love how this is more of a high up, forward, and swoops down, so you can really rest your hand there, even if the steering wheel is there. CX-5, for example, and some other vehicles is too short. So in most cars, when you have it in drive, at least your hand can reach there and rest, but your elbow barely reaches. On this one, your elbow reaches fine, so that's fine. It's got a double butterfly opening type. You do have two USB in here. You have an auxiliary and a 12 volt, and as you can see, it's a pretty good, very good size. So no little tray up here like some have, but it's a very good size. Got a little cubby here, decent size cup holders there. They mention it. The USB cables connections are in here, and there is a little notch out here so the cable can go through without being pinched. Is that a good spot for it? Not maybe. You can always rest your phone in this cubby here, or got the auto brake. Oh, there's another 12 volt in there. You got an auto brake here. This one comes with the Bose speakers. I believe nine speakers. I'll post that below if it's any different. It's got another little cubby spot. Another little cubby spot out here, and not too big of a size there. Seatbelt on. Not that it's hard, but this thing here is kind of angled out towards you instead of straight up. So when you want to put your seatbelt on, it's a slight intrusive. I mean, you'll get used to it, I'm sure, and you know how to get in there quick and do it once you've owned the car for a while. But that's just an FYI coming up here. That makes it a little bit tighter. So this is 9-speed automatic transmission, and instead of a manual mode, they have a manual mode, but they call it L mode, and it's got the little buttons here. So that's an awkward spot to have the buttons instead of, some have it up here. This is actually a little bit better. This Equinox has it up here, so that's an awkward thing to do. At least over here, you're holding it naturally, and your thumb can swoop down for up and down on your gear shifting. There are no paddle shifters. Now, again, this is the faker stuff, I'm pretty sure. It's got nice leather wrapping all around here. It has it down here for your knee to lean against when you're driving. It's nice that it has lots of hard buttons for all your AC and the heating, the climate controls, auto and sync buttons. The radio buttons are a lot of hard buttons. I like that. It even has a direct tone, so you press it right away to get to your bass, mid-range, and treble. Now, it does have bass, mid-range, and treble. The CX-5 only has bass and treble. It does not have the mid-range. Thumbs up on this one for having that, and it's got a lot of, so it's got a nice, I think this is an 8-inch screen. It's an okay size screen. I mean, the quality is not bad. The backup on it, let's just do that real quick. You can see it better now. And it does curve, unlike the Equinox, should say. It does curve, so it's kind of long, so that's good. Quality is so-so. Wide angle is just so-so. Now back to the buttons. The climate temperature is digital, and it's not sensitive enough. Like, you really have to give it a bit of a hard touch, otherwise it doesn't move. And the heated seats, also you have to make sure you give it a good little tap to work, right, on both sides. This one does not have cool seats, I don't think. I believe the top premium model might, and I'll post that below. So it's nice that it does have a lot of the hard touch buttons combined with the infotainment system. It has a traction control button off there and 2 other spots for something else. I'll double check it what they are and see if I can post that as well. So overall, I actually think this car is very beautiful inside. It's a kind of luxury feeling. I'm a realtor by my day job. This is more of a luxury feel, softer ride to put customers in. So that's why I kind of like it. Me and my wife like the comfortable ride about it. Though it is, again, it's not perfect. The venting is in an awkward spot. If you want to put it, you can't really put it up. So for me, that's not so bad. I don't like it hitting my face. My wife does. I don't. So I want it to kind of just go through the middle of the car and fill up the car instead of hitting me right in my face. So you can't get it high enough to hit your face if you're somebody who loves that. On the steering wheel, we have the cruise control on this side, the heated seat button on this side, the speed. You have your collision alert setting on this side, which in the driving test I mentioned, it's not working very good. Okay, here we got the voice activation, phone, and navigation. This one does not have the navigation set up right now, but apparently it's voice activated for navigation and for the media. And you can answer the phone here. On this side, you have some of your settings for the trip button and up and down options and your volume button. It has an auto light on this side, so I'll double check if it has the auto high beam or not, assist, and I'll post that below. Trunk button down there. Oh, it's got a little cubby there. That's not fuses, it's a little cubby spot there. That's all right. The size here, it's not too bad. Again, it's compact, so it's not for really, really big folks, but it's definitely comfortable. The way your knee sits here, unlike some other cars, is comfortable. It does come with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. This one's not set up, but it has all those features. It has the teen driver and the alert for someone being in the back seat, so it's very tech savvy. Though in the 2019, you do have to go to the top trim premium 2 to get the forward braking. The alert is on this lower trim, but the actual forward braking is on the top trim. And maybe the adaptive cruise control, maybe the adaptive part is in the premium 2 as well, and that's why it wasn't braking for me earlier. I'm going to double check that in the features, and I will comment on it below. Some people think that this little old analog clock is some people think this old analog clock is a little bit weird and out of place and kind of gaudy, and I'm on the fence about it. I don't think it's a big deal. Hazard buttons up here. We got your lane keep assist, or sorry, the lane keep system here for on and off. A rear park. It does have the this does have a cross traffic alert, blind spot monitoring. Again, the blind spot monitoring is the type that flashes if someone's beside you, but there's no audible alert for it. CX-5 has that. Some cars, but most cars don't have audible. Some do, some don't. And auto turn off for the auto engine shut off, and for the rear parking alert system on or off. Nice panoramic roof, which again, if you just have kids, you're not putting a lot of tall people in the car, it's kind of cool to have that. If you are putting larger people in a car, like if you're in business, like a real estate agent like myself, and the headroom is a little low, so it's thumbs down for the headroom. For larger, if you just have smaller kids or just teenagers and they're not that tall, of course, it's plenty of room, guys. It's a very comfortable car. Visor test. All right, it's got the slidey thing for the visor.